All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is TJ Fantini, and I am an account executive here at PDA Marketing Group. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your schedule to join us today so we could talk to you about SEO, how to tell if it's working, and what you can do today to help the SEO without necessarily having to pay thousands of dollars to get it done. So first I want to apologize because I do not unfortunately have the ability for video today. I was hoping to be able to show you a few things, but we will be going and sending out a follow-up email after this with some quick points just about what I'm going over today. So first, let's talk a little bit about SEO. What is SEO? So it used to be SEO was a term that was used for search engine optimization. And it used to be all about creating backlinks from other websites with a link profile that were going to generate more action to your websites. And a lot of times SEO companies and specialists, they would build entire websites for the sole purpose of just creating these backlinks. Now, the problem in 2012 became is that everybody was just creating backlinks after backlinks after backlinks. And so they had a hard time telling which ones were good and which ones were bad. So Google said, you know what? We're going to put our foot down. And now what we're going to do is we're going to replace backlinks with organic traffic to the site, because we want to make sure that these websites are actually interesting and have useful information on them for people. So you're going to start hearing a term called PCP. And that, by the way, stands for proper company promotion. All right, that's something you're going to start to hear out there a lot, because it's actually a term that's replacing SEO, because we're no longer trying to get as many backlinks as possible. Instead, we're trying to do things to organically increase the traffic. And let me tell you what some of those things are, because these are things that you can do today that are going to help your SEO. But the other thing that is important to remember is that SEO does take time. This is a marathon, it's not a sprint. Think about it like think about your patients, okay? So obviously you have your patients come and they come for their checkups every 6 months, hopefully, for their cleanings and everything. And as long as they do these checkups and everything, their teeth should be good to go. You know, they should come in for clean bills of health, little things here and there. If they don't do these checkups, obviously their teeth are going to fall apart. It's the same thing with your website. That's your SEO is basically your hygienist. We need to make sure that your website is being updated frequently. Now, you can pay companies to do that. You can pay companies like us to do that, no problem. But there are ways that you can also do it yourself. So let me give you a couple ways to do that. First of all, when you are trying to generate buzz around your practice, you got to get out into your community, okay? So I want you to collaborate with your community. You need to become the go-to professional in your neighborhood, not just because you're the best dentist in town, because you are, but also because you're well connected to people that are in your area. So in order to compete with a lot of the big dental conglomerates out there, you stand out because your relationships are personal. You stand out because you're a member of your community. So what you really want to do is get involved in your community, maybe host an open house. But how is that going to, or invite people into your office for a donuts with the doctor, or maybe go out there and partner with a restaurant that's going to be able to offer you referrals based on if you're maybe offering a referral back to them. Now, how is that going to help with your SEO? I'll tell you. Because when you do those things like the open house, or when you do those things like inviting people into your office for donuts with the doctor, you take pictures, you take videos, and then these are the things that you add to your Facebook, because that is the #1 way that you as a doctor can impact your SEO. And that is by contributing to your social media profile. Now, there are companies out there that do this for you, that'll write blogs for you, will send out information, and some of these companies are really great. We work with one called My Social Practice, which does a great job of putting engaging content out there, because that is the key. You need to be engaging in your content. So for instance, I could put out a blog or a post all about why it's great that you get dental implants that are made in the United States of America. But that's not going to be a very engaging post to my patients. Instead, maybe I want to ask them a question or their opinion. Maybe I'm doing a little remodeling in the office, and I have a wall that I need to paint. So I'm going to ask them, what color should I paint this wall? Should I paint it blue? Should I paint it red? That kind of sounds ridiculous, but at the end of the day, you want engaging posts on Facebook. Because when you're posting to Facebook, you need to remember that it's only going to 3 to 5 people who have liked your posts and your page in the past. So even though you may have, you know, hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of followers, your post is only going out to 3 to 5 people initially. Now, if other people like it or comment it or share it, then of course that post is going to go out to an additional 5 to 10 people, and then it just keeps on piling on like that. So ask questions. Put up a post of maybe your hygienist in the office that has a birthday, and say, wish, and tag her in the post and say, let's wish Jane a happy birthday. Because guess what? If you tag her, all of Jane's friends that are probably on her Facebook page are going to respond, happy birthday, Jane, happy birthday, Jane. Way to go, Jane. It's your birthday, Jane. And that drives more people to attention to your Facebook profile, okay? The other thing people ask all the time is, great, Facebook, social media for boosting SEO, but I don't know what I should be posting, or how often should I be posting? Do I need to post every day? Do I need to post every other day? That seems to be a major source of confusion. And what I can tell you is, over here at PDA Marketing Group, based on our 14 plus years in dental specific marketing, what we have found is the most successful dental Facebook users post 2 to 3 times a week. Okay. Now that doesn't mean that you should just be posting informational blogs 2 to 3 times a week. You should actually have that split up a bit. So I like to say the 60-20-20 rule. 60% of your posts that go to Facebook should be personal but relevant. Happy birthday, Jane. You know, look what we did in the office today. We had a painting party. Or, you know, personal office related posts. 20% of your posts should be about marketing or promotional things. Hey, we're offering $500 off on Invisalign. Call us today to find out how you can get that. Some kind of promotional post, or hey, come in for a free second opinion on a consultation, or any kind of marketing promotional post, okay? I know we're talking about this in very open-ended and vague terms. And what I would tell you is, if you are hearing things on this webinar that are piquing your interest, and you want to hear more in detail about them as far as how it relates specifically to your practice and what you are doing, when we're going to send out an email afterwards here, where you'll be able to set up some time for an assessment with me, where we can walk through and look at your practice specifically. But what we're going over today are great general rules that all practices could be following in order to help perform their SEO. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to do the coding that's required for the SEO, or all the back-end work. That's not why you became a dentist, okay? The way that you can help yourself with the SEO is through, 1, using your social media and your Facebook, and also the other thing that you and your office have total control over, and that is your reviews, okay? Reviews are extremely important. What I would tell you about your reviews is that there is no way that you are getting into the map pack on Google without at least 12 Google reviews. You will also have a much better chance of getting in there if you're getting 5-star reviews. But what I would also tell you is it's not just about getting the reviews. Getting the reviews are great. We all love positive reviews, but responding to your reviews. This is something that not a lot of offices do, but that Google looks at as extremely favorable. A lot of times we'll think, you know, I got a negative review, I should bury that negative review. No, you really shouldn't. What you should do is respond in a HIPAA compliant way that engages the patient and shows Google that you're engaged in their process and also care about your patients. Offer to, you know, give us a call. Let's see how we can help make this better. Those are the kind of things that when Google sees you, one, thanking patients for leaving a great review. Thanks for coming in to see us, Jane. We really enjoyed seeing you too. We wish we had more patients like you. Okay, great. Those are the kind of things that Google is looking at when you're trying to climb up. There is not one single silver arrow that is going to fix your SEO for you. SEO is sort of like life changes. You can't make one giant big life change that fixes everything. But what you can do is make a bunch of little changes that are going to add up to that one big change. And for you, that is your growth of SEO. Okay, so get out there in your community, put that on Facebook, make sure that you're getting some reviews, and also another key thing to do, testimonials from your patients. So what I can tell you, and again, this is from looking at hundreds and hundreds of websites and analytics from hundreds and hundreds of websites over the past years, and seeing that there are 3 main things that all patients want to see immediately when they come to your website. They want to see you, that would be a picture of you. They want to see your office. Even if you don't have the greatest office, there's something about your office that you can showcase, or something about your office that is unique. That's what we want to show, okay? And they also want to hear what patients are saying about you. Now, we can't put Google reviews on your websites because that is a very big no-no from Google. But if you're using something like a Lighthouse or Facebook or something like that, you can absolutely repurpose those reviews onto your website, okay? But even better than that, testimonials from your patients in video form, okay? Google bought YouTube a couple years ago. Ever since Google has purchased YouTube, what has happened is it has become the #1 driver of how to improve your SEO. And when I say that, please understand, I do not know that for sure. In fact, most of the stuff that I am telling you today is not based on 100% searchable fact. What it is based on is 14 years of experience in the dental marketing field and seeing how different strategies perform, okay? So these are all based on trends that we've seen happen over and over and over again. Okay, so testimonials, we're getting those. But even more than that, do you have video on your website? So think about when Google is coming to your site to rank it, they've got a checklist of things that they want to go through and see if you have these things on your website. Facebook link, Twitter link, you know, a map listing from Google on your website. These are things that they're checking for. They're also now checking for video. Do you have a video on your website? Now, please don't think that this means you have to run out and spend $8,000, $12,000, $100,000 on making a Martin Scorsese film, because that's not what you need to do in order to fulfill this element of your SEO. What you need to do is just take some fun videos around the office. Take some fun boomerang videos. Take some Facebook Live videos. Start to, and you know, hey, here's the thing. People, not everybody likes to get in front of the camera, but you know what I find? People who don't like to get in front of the camera often do some of the most viral videos you will see. And that's really what it's about, is getting some attention. So please create some videos. You know, do you have kids? How about bring your kids into the office and show them how mom or dad uses some of the tools, and film that with your iPhone. You don't have to hire a big camera crew. You can do this all with your iPhone, okay? Just make sure when you're shooting your videos that you're shooting them horizontally. I know that we see a lot of people shooting videos and they're shooting them vertical, but if you shoot them horizontally, they can be much more useful across the internet, the web platforms. Also, Google does prefer that as well. Think about this too. Your video does not need to be long. It could be 30 seconds. It can literally be you saying, hey, I'm Dr. Johnson, and I would love to see you at my office. We just started running a new oral wellness campaign. We'd love to see you to make sure that your total oral wellness is good for you, or whatever. I mean, you got to pick stuff that you're excited about, and you got to pick stuff that is going to be relevant to people that are out there. But you know what's always relevant to people? Fun. Fun is always relevant. Therefore, go ahead and take some fun videos around the office. I have one doctor, his name actually is Dr. Johnson, out of Iowa, Dr. Chad Johnson, and every month or so, he'll send me some videos to put up on his website that are called Bad Dental Jokes. And it's literally him and his associate sitting across the table from each other, trying to bad joke the other one with dental jokes. Now, how is that going to help you get patients, right? It's just a funny video. Yeah, but remember, we are competing with corporations that don't do those kinds of things, that don't, Western Dental doesn't put out fun videos. Western Dental doesn't, they don't give those personal touches. They don't really even have many unique Facebook pages. You as a doctor, owning your own practice, have the ability to do so many things, okay? So just to recap really quick where we are so far, we've gotten out into our community, we've met community members, we've liked some pages on Facebook. Another thing that I would really suggest for you to do, join your Chamber of Commerce. So how we were talking about linking earlier, and how there are backlinks and and bad links and good links, there are still backlinks that are good. For instance, if you join up with your Chamber of Commerce and you have they have like a lot of them have business after hours. You need to create content that is able to be put out there to help your SEO. And that's how you do it. You have events, you bring the Chamber of Commerce in, bring your kids in, and have a day where you show them what mom or dad does in the office. So at the end of the day, there's two ways to help your SEO, all right? You can pay a company to do things like pay-per-click, websites, programming, and all that, and it'll help. But you can also do this. This is a little bit slower of a process, but it's also an organic process that will allow you to grow your SEO in an organic way. There is no one silver bullet. Now, this all probably sounds like great stuff. I would imagine it does, and they're good ideas. In fact, I bet a lot of these are ideas that you have probably heard before, and that's because they work. Where the disconnect normally ends up happening and why these ideas don't end up helping your SEO is because we don't put them into play, because we don't actually move forward in a way that executes our plan. So what I would like for all of us to do today is do that. Pick one thing that you're going to do today that is going to help you, all right? For instance, maybe you're going to do a video. Maybe you're going to go and start posting some content from around your office. But you need to take action to do something, all right? SEO, the way that Google works, They are, when you have a new website out there, they have, they come to your website in the first 30 to 60 days and they comb over it, right? And they make a copy. And then they say, we're going to come back to this website in a bunch of times within the first 6 months to see how well the website is performing. So they come, they rank your site, then they come back 2 weeks, a week, a month, whatever it is, and they look and they compare the copy that they took of your site last time against what they're seeing against your site now. If they don't see any changes, and they don't see any updates, and they don't see any new social media posts, and they don't see anything going on, they don't come back and keep looking. They come back in 9 months instead of coming back in a couple weeks. So it's important to be generating new content for your website. One other thing that I would like to mention that is really, really, really helpful when it comes to SEO and Google rankings, remember, this is a metric, it's a user metric game now, all right? Which means driving traffic to your site from social media and various other outlets are going to show Google that you're an important business that people are passionate about. That is why people tell you to do Facebook, and Facebook is going to bring you more new patients. I bet you what you'll see is Facebook is not going to bring you new patients directly from Facebook. But what it's going to do is it's going to saturate your brand out there in a way to Google that shows Google that people are interested in your website. That is going to make Google rank you even higher, okay? So one last thing just to go over real quickly, and that is getting published in your local newspaper. Well, how does getting published in my local newspaper help with my SEO? Well, I'll tell you. Most newspapers now have online, I mean, I live in a very small town of 14,000 people, and we have a newspaper that has an online section as well. If you get them to cover you, for instance, how about a little bit of extra, read all about it, doctor donates dental care to local community member in need. Wow, what a story that would be to grace the pages of a local newspaper that probably really needs some positivity in it right now. So in addition to being in print, they're also going to post online on their website, which gives you a positive backlink. What I find a lot of times, especially for those of you that are in smaller markets, your newspapers are dying for things to write about. They are just so anxious for content. A lot of them will let you write the article for them practically. So reach out to your new local newspapers. Tell them you're going to do, we got Veterans Day coming up here. Do a Veterans Day promotion where maybe you're going to donate a service to each veteran that comes in. Maybe you're going to do extractions or cleanings or whatever. Those kinds of things are going to really lead to more people talking about you online, more people understanding what it is that your practice is about, how you are different from the corporations, and why they should be coming to you. So just to circle back here, because I know everyone's time is valuable, and if you would like more information about how you can specifically to your practice increase your SEO, because look, these are things that you can do in your office today. You can literally hang up from this webinar, go make a video with one of your office staff or a patient or whatever. You could do that. We'll send you out a list of topics if you want to, that you could do that with. And once you start doing those things, you're going to find how easy they become to keep them up. And people are going to depend on seeing that content, and that's going to help you keep patients long term. How Facebook is going to help you in the short term is it's going to create the buzz that's going to show Google that your website is important and they need to pay attention to you. Okay? So again, if you want some more information about your practice specific, or even if you'd like some specific information about how your website is performing for SEO right now, there'll be an email going out about this. Go ahead and sign up for an assessment. I think I have 4 openings next week. So if you'd like some kind of assessment to talk about your site specifically, please feel free to contact me. Otherwise, I'm happy to open up now if there is any questions about any of this, or any specific questions anybody would like me to answer or speak to. Also, I should probably give you my email as well. My email is tj@productivedentist.com. And you can write to me for some kind of assessment, or if you just have a general question about something that you're doing, I'm happy to take a look at that for you. One of the things that really makes me happy about my job is being able to look at all of the different problems. No 2 problems are the same, let me tell you. There's a lot of similarities, especially when you're dealing with rankings on SEO, but there are no 2 problems that are the same. So give me a call, send me an email, let's take a look at your website, let's take a look at your online profile. That's a free process that I'm happy to provide for you. What does SEO stand for? Thank you for your question. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. So like Google is a search engine, Yahoo is a search engine. And so what that stands for is how they are optimizing all of those listings to come up in searches. How do I recommend dealing with negative reviews which are exaggerated or otherwise false? This happens all the time. Like we literally get calls every other week about that problem, so it's not unique to you. Believe it or not, I would run straight at that train. Again, it depends on how inflammatory the review is. I mean, if it's something where a normal person is going to read it and go, wow, that person is crazy, we might leave that one alone because it probably doesn't need a response for people reading it to understand that they're loco. However, if it's false statements or just slight exaggerations or things like that, we definitely want you to respond in a way that's like, we can't confirm or deny whether you're a patient, but we're sorry that your experience was not the one that we're trying to provide for you. Could you reach out to us so we could talk about and see how we can make this better? Because by you reaching out and letting them know that you're willing to talk about them, most of them are not going to call, they're not going to do anything. But by you reaching out and being able to tell them that, hey, we'll help you. One, I'm not as concerned about that one patient, okay? Because odds are that one patient is probably not coming back. What I'm concerned with are the patients that are going to be reading your reviews. So I know me as a consumer, if I get to that negative review, if it's somebody that's saying like, well, my friend went there and they had a horrible experience, that's a review you can have removed. But if it's a review directly from the person, again, respond to it in a positive, happy way. Because me, as a prospective patient that's going to come look, I'm going to look at that negative review. And what am I going to see? I'm going to see an office that's like, oh my gosh, we're so sorry you had that experience. That here's the patient. We're so sorry you had that experience. Can you contact us so we can talk about this and see what we can do to help? And now I have an office that wants to help. They're not running away from the problem. They're not telling them that, no, that's BS. That wasn't true at all. They're saying, oh my gosh, we hear you. You weren't happy with your experience. Can we make this better? Okay, that is something that goes a long way. And it's also something Google looks favorably on because they're happy that you're using their platform. So I hope that kind of answers that question a little bit. Don't be afraid of your negative reviews. Negative reviews, believe it or not, can be some of the most helpful ones that you have. Any other questions about any of that kind of stuff? And again, just to point out, when you're doing your posts on Facebook, personal posts asking for people's opinions or asking people to like engage is way more effective than, hey, here's 500 words about what an implant is. Nobody's going to read that. Now that's great for Google bots that are looking for content, but for bringing in prospective patients, not so helpful. Versus, hey, it's our hygienist Jane's birthday today. Wish her a happy birthday. And you tag Jane in that post and all of her friends like it and all of her friends wish her a happy birthday. And remember, that means that those original 3 to 5 people are now multiplying by 10 every single time somebody hits that like button. Engaging posts are key. Any other questions today about any of this? Any SEO related questions or questions about pay-per-click or websites in general? I'd be happy to answer those as well. One more question. Sure. I'll take as many as you got, Miss Felicia. All right. Well, I'm waiting for your question to come through. I'll give that the answer and then, oh, here we go. We see that Facebook is becoming an increasingly lower traffic site. Many younger users are migrating to other social media platforms. Somebody's paying attention. Is Facebook still playing a major role with advertising then? So here's what I would tell you about Facebook advertising. If yes, 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 and yes, Facebook is still playing a major role when it comes to Facebook advertising. They're still #1. So yeah, you're seeing a little decline, and there is a decline. That decline is also being highly publicized by those other companies who are trying to break in. So they're taking a 1% or 2% decline and turning it into the sky is falling. So they're still #1. Keep that in mind. Now, what I would tell you specifically about Facebook ads is, again, this is something where these aren't people that are necessarily actively searching for dental services. So again, these are more of branding campaigns. So like if you have a new associate doc that's coming into the practice and you want more patients for that associate doc, Facebook is a great place to put those ads up. If you want to get just more word out there about your practice in general, then yes, you want to be advertising some branding on Facebook, okay? They're still #1 as far as users go. And also, just so you know, the older demographic, they do still use Facebook. It is still, what we're seeing is we're seeing a shift in how it's being used versus necessarily as many people that are using it. And again, that older demographic, they're the ones who need dental work. So yes, Facebook is still a very good place to advertise. And also remember, Facebook has a relationship with Google, which is why it's important to always be with them. You know, it's anybody that has a good relationship with Google, you really want to have a nice relationship with them as well. Did that help to answer your question? I hope that helped to answer your question a little bit, Felicia. Good, excellent. Okay, well, thank you again, everybody, very much for the time today. I really appreciate sharing your time with me. And again, if you need very specific help or want to talk specifically about your practice and what's going on there and how you can see your results, I'm happy to hop on an exploratory call with you. Just go ahead and send me an email at tj@productivedentist.com and we can hop on a call and chat. Thank you, everybody. This was my very first webinar, so thank you for being kind and breaking me in with such wonderful questions, and have a great rest of your day.